Coming from a small school like Howard University, Jeff wasn't invited to the NFL Combine. But when you run a 40-yard dash in the 4.2s, that'll open up some eyes. Virginia Tech will enter their bowl game coming off one of the best defensive performances in school history. The Howard University Bison were picked to finish 8 out of 9 teams in the MEAC this season. In a game that was strikingly similar to Saturday's overtime victory versus the Los Angeles Clippers, the Washington Wizards got off to a slow start, but this time they weren't able to pull out the late-game heroics. And come Thursday night, the Redskins will have to deal with Super Bowl MVP Eli Manning, whom many players said made major improvements during last year's playoff run. When the 4th-ranked Georgetown University men's lacrosse team meets number 10 Navy on Saturday, it will be more than a matchup of 2 of the top teams in the country. We'll explain more coming up. In the preseason, you usually like to keep the playbook a little bit vanilla. So are you excited to, finally get to, get the whole range of the playbook?
Well, we're just excited to have all our players on the field at the same time for 4 quarters. It's difficult when you're interacting with guys, between quarters, and you're, substituting a lot of guys in and out. It's hard to get continuity and a rhythm going. So the main thing for us is, we got rhythm going, and you get into a flow of a game.
Now, what's it going to take to come out successful on Thursday?
Just playing hard, and go out there and play to win. Just let loose.
Thanks a lot. Back to you. It was a rough day at the office for a few ACC coaches this weekend. Maryland almost got plucked by the Blue Hens, Beamer ball got a taste of its own medicine, and the Cavs were left wishing they could hit the restart button on the Xbox. Maryland hosting Delaware, senior Jordan Steffi was one of 3 quarterbacks that saw time versus the Blue Hens. We're scoreless in the second quarter. Maryland goes to Darius Hayward-Bay on the end of round, shows off that 4.3 speed, 7-0 Terps at the break. After a Maryland interception to start the third quarter, Steffi gives it right back. Eric Johnson picks him off. Then on the next possession, more of the same. Going for it on 4th down, Steffi just throws one up for grabs and gets picked again. Later, still 7-0, Maryland has it back. Darrell Scott making his first career start, 26 of his career high 197 yards. That would set up a David Meggett touchdown. Now, under 4 minutes left, Delaware within 7, but Bobby Schohoff gets picked off by Terrell Skinner. The Terps avoid disaster with a 14-7 win. The leather echo of boxing gloves resonates across culture and religion.
Boxing is a one-on-one sport. It's just like living. When the kids go out in the street, he's by himself. Well, it's the same thing with boxing. When the bell rings, you're by yourself.
The discipline and work ethic boxing breeds serves as a cornerstone for tolerance.
We're reaching out, hopefully, to not only impact the lives of the people in our community, also that the kids can get an education and see how much alike we all are.
Nice. Do it again.
The first annual Belfast Beltway Boxing Classic is uniting kids from Northern Ireland and Washington, D.C. for an exhibition bout.
I think it's the first time most of them actually left the Belfast area, and they're so excited. I think it's better than Christmas for them, actually.
Far better on Christmas, show us. They'll be able to share camaraderie, see other people from other countries. It's just a wonderful thing for the sport.
The kids from Northern Ireland, many of whom have never left their own neighborhoods, are getting a chance to learn and grow, both inside and outside of the ring.
Where we come from, Northern Ireland, a lot of conflict over the troubles of Catholic and Protestant. So we've actually got kids from both communities here, Catholic and Protestant. So it's actually, they're building a friendship outside boxing now too. So it's actually a lot more than just boxing.
Everyone is here for the main event, and the hand-picked group from D.C. is brimming with confidence.
All my guys are quite a few notches above them all.
And if the ferocity in which the matches were decided mirrors what happens in the ring, fight night will be well worth the 3,000-mile plus trip.
Go get it. Go get it.
During last week's NFL Pro Day, Jeff Pope was clocked at 4.29 in the 40-yard dash. But on Tuesday, the Howard University senior was clocked at as fast as 4.25. Pope currently has the fastest time for all prospects in this year's draft. The 5'11" cornerback was named second-team All-MEAC this past season.
Good, sprint through. There you go.
If drafted, this would make the second straight year that a Howard defensive back was selected. Pope's former teammate Antoine Bethea started at safety for the Super Bowl champion Indianapolis Colts. Coming from a small school like Howard University, Jeff wasn't invited to the NFL Combine. But when you run a 40-yard dash in the 4.2s, that'll open up some eyes.
You know, sitting back watching those guys at the Combine, I certainly I felt I could have been there with those guys and did just as good, or if not better than most of those guys. So it was a blow, but again, at the end of the day, just add fuel to the fire.
Kind of surprised that he didn't go to the Combine, you know, but this may end up being better for him. You know, because you only need one team, and now these guys get an up-close personal look at him. And if he was at the Combine, I wouldn't have got this kind of up-close look at him. You know, so that might be, you know, might in the end be a positive thing that he didn't go.
At Green Stadium in Washington, D.C., Brian Jackson, Comcast Sportsnet.